That's right. So you clicked on this video. That means that you're literally a honorary herpetologist, right? You enjoyed the study of snakes, and I'd like to welcome you into the Secret Snake Club.
The Secret Snake Club.
Ursa Arctic and Melodious, or is it sorry, what's it called? Sulfur Chord. They all got their, their supports. It was only a matter of time before we got ours. And I don't mean to sound, like a blowhard, but suck it. We got the better support. You can't tell me anything. The spell is crazy and the monster is really good. Not really what the deck needed. The deck still has an issue with, starting, and there's still no honorary reptile boss monster to justify you being locked into reptiles. But we're getting there. We're getting there, right? Come on. I'm pretty sure we're getting there eventually, right? Eventually. So for our first set of cards, we have the Ogdoadics. One copy of the new boss monster that allows you to special summon herself when another monster is sent from the hand or deck while she's in the graveyard, and she can reborn any monster from the graveyard. But the problem is you're in a reptile locked for 2 turns, so most likely you're going to be reborning a reptile. So I guess Konami thought that this effect was so strong, it has a reptile lock you, right? Whatever, I guess. One copy of Ogdo Abyss. These cards are both highly searchable, so playing them in one is the proper, ratio. This wipes the board of any any monsters who are not special summoned from the graveyard. I wish it said non-reptiles, but it is what it is. One copy of Curse. Curse is the one that we use to go ahead and start our plays. It's our main combo starter, right? Special summons any one level 4 or lower Ogdoadic from the graveyard, and when it does so, by its own effect, your opponent gets to special summon a monster from their graveyard. Which, keep that in mind, because it does allow for some pretty keyed interaction. One copy of Aelith. We would love to cut this card to 0, but we can't. It does come up. It is needed. This one returns 2 banished in reptile monsters or monsters in general, including reptile, to your graveyard. So it helps you with bestials in the grand game, helps you with DD crows, Call by the Graves, stuff like that. One copy of the Zoha. Don't mess with him. Don't mess with the Zoha. Basically, it's a case where this card is also pretty much needed to get bricks out of your hand, and also he has a pretty cool effect, which is summoned from the graveyard or sealed from the field. He can search a Ogdoadic and then discard 1, and your opponent draws 1 and discards 1. Pretty neat effect. 3 copies of Naya. So Naya has the effect to go ahead and dump a light counterpart of a reptile, and also search his spell and traps. Where Nunu actually does the same thing, but she dumps darks, and also she's the honorary extender, but she also locks you into reptiles while she's face up. For our spell and traps, we play 2 copies of Lily. Phenomenal card. It's a Foolish Burial and on a monster reborn. The new card, which is Dawn, 2 copies. We don't really want to brick on them. We like to open them, but searching them is not also bad, but bricking on them can be a bit of an issue, hence we're not playing 3 of each. And also, deck space. I don't want to go overboard and make it 45 cards. So basically, tribute 1 reptile monster, special summon up to any amount of Ogdoadic tokens adjacent to its level. So for 10 you get 5, for 8 you get 4, for 4 you get 2, for 2 you get 1, etc, etc. It's a scapegoat for reptiles, right? And also you can put back one of your banished Ogdoadics, reptiles I should say, and then dump a reptile. Really good card. Of course, 3 copies of Snaking in the Rain. What are the chances snakes would be raining? Right, the best card into the deck. Also a card that's pretty much gatekeeping reptiles in general. Basically, it puts 5 reptile monsters in your graveyard. Nothing more, nothing less. Crazy card. For our honorary reptile support, we play 1 copy of Night Sword, 1 copy of Quattle. They're both special summons. One is a tuner, so we do make synchro plays off of that. Even though we don't make much synchro plays are available, right? 1 copy of the Evil Light Forest, 2 copies of Rayos, 3 copies of Najasha, and also 2 copies of the card to search them if you needed, 1 copy of the Force to search from the Fierce, and 1 copy of the Trap to search from the Rios. Sometimes I do believe I want to play 3 copies of Rios, but it is what it is. But sometimes 3 does come up. These cards are coming out in Dune, I believe. We don't really know so much. when we do, it's because we bricked or we don't have the optimal start. So we just need to normal something out to start playing the game. Some persons like to play the Alistair package. I'm choosing to try out this Evil Sword package. It's really good so far in giving you either what you need a negate or a spell and trap negate, so on and so forth. Plays around board breakers, right? Really cool card. One copy of Pollutant Virus for our Alien package, right, which we do play in the extra deck. Basically a 3-turn monster. Basically it's a VFD for 3 turns or a Baguska for 3 turns. 3 copies of Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Joel for our hand traps, and something to help us play through hand traps and resolve our Snake Rain. For our extra deck we play 1 copy of Shock Trooper. This card is underrated, even by me. When I read this card for the first time, I thought it was pretty mediocre, but when it effects comes up, trust me, it's crazy. This card could potentially end the game if possible, right? So basically you send 1 monster from your hand, then give your opponent A counters equal to its level, and then if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can summon non-link reptiles from your graveyard up to the number of A counters. Crazy effect. 1 copy of Reptilian Echidna. Basically on summon, it puts a monster to 0, and then you can search reptile monsters based on the number of 0 monsters your opponent controls, and it locks into reptiles, right? So that's what I'm talking about, reptile lock. Why are we being reptile locked? What is worth being reptile locked, Konami? This... Right, so keep in mind that this adds on any amount of 0 monsters, right? So for example, if you use the effect of Curse and they summon an Ash from the graveyard and they have another monster face up, you can make that monster 0 and then search to reptiles, right? That's pretty much really good. It does come up. To 1 copy of Zilor, the alien support monster but not in name. Any monster with A counters on the field can activate their effects and search any card that places A counters on a card, right? So yeah. For our limited rank 8 toolbox, 1 Jaglubion, 1 Harp Harbinger, 100 for OTKs, and 1 Heart Earth Dragon for the Battle decks. So if they set 5 on pass, you can just eat the entire back 5 and win the game, right? So yeah, that's it. And then for the King of Feral Imps, none will soft once per turn, add a reptile monster from your deck to your hand, and for that we have the F0 package. Once we use the 2 searches, we can just make a F0 and then have another negate up. 1 copy of the new Raz, 1 copy of Lagia, 1 copy of Doloka, 1 copy of Savage, which we can make, and also Serpent is a water monster to make its negate live, right? Let's go. Our first replay is up against Flunderies, a deck that I wish would just die already. Oh, look at that! Their 6th card would have been Shifter. Luckily for us, they didn't draw it. Let's begin. I do believe that we lost the dice roll here. So they're going to activate Map's effect to go ahead and dump a copy of the Stritch, 1-2, add it back, add a copy of the DD Crow, normal summon, add a copy of M-Pen Tribute, add a copy of the amazing map. Is it called map? The one that, yeah, Dreaming Town. So we're going on the cutback. Our hand is phenomenal. Let's begin. Activate the effect. Mill R5. Call out by the grave, which is pretty much pretty oofy. It's fine. We have everything. We have the DD Crow. It's fine. Effect of another, we have 2, not once per turn. Normal summon. They banish the Illiterate, that really hurts. They're going to their normal stuff. Add a copy of Ryza. Ryza effect to go ahead and eat our board and also restart their DD Crow for next turn. Activate Curse. Curse effect to go ahead and summon back a copy of Naya. Naya to add a spell and trap. Then activate the effect to give us 4 tokens. Effect to put back the Illiterate in deck. And then dump the Illiterate so we can have it to recycle back our banish reptiles. Effect, tribute 3. Attempt to wipe the board. Deactivate Dreaming Town. That goes. Then end phase. Normal summon Stray effect to banish their M-Pen. and then add back the copy of Rabina. Then they're going to number Rabina, add a copy of the Toucan, and then Rabina to add a copy of the the Toucan, right? Then artifact to get back the Impin, tribute summon the Impin effect, and they're attempting to book our monster. So for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason we were unable to activate our effect of the Abyss to wipe the board. So if anybody could explain to me why that is, please let me know, because I feel like I got shafted by Yugioh Pro. So beginning, they're going to book our monsters, add a copy of the Unexplored Winds, tribute, rise the effect. So basically they're trying to keep their Call by the Grave and Ludicrous in rotation to go ahead and constantly banish our stuff, which is not a bad idea, but it won't be enough. So from here we can pretty much go ahead and end the game. We don't need to normal summon to do it. So grab the best cards on top of the deck, dump one, special summon that effect. It's fine. Go ahead and use the effect. So again, a lower top monster. Special summon that, special summon a copy of the Naya's effect, add a copy of Dawn. Zoha's effect, add itself, back to hand, tribute 3, effect wipe the board. Reborn, get the Feral Imps. Activate the effect, get us 5 tokens. Hidden at that 0. Attempt to add. So from right here, I felt as if I couldn't end the game without normal summoning, so I wanted to make sure to check the map before locking myself into reptiles. So the Dragite does come up, as you can see. Put back that, then dump it, normal summon, effect will negate that, and the game is pretty winnable from here on out. Effect, and then they surrendered. On to the next one. Our next match is up against Runic, pretty much our worst matchup because they're going to be banishing all our stuff, and also our hand is not that the best. So the pollutant lock really only works against monsters, and as you can see, we're up against a handful of spells, so you know how this is going to go. Nice effect, dump a light, normal summon because we have to. Curse effect, special summon itself, and a copy of Naya. Naya is such a copy of the Dawn from the deck. Then we're going to go ahead and activate Dawn, get 4 tokens. Effect to go ahead, make a Shock Trooper, make the cooler, put back the Naya, dump a copy of that for follow-up, set 1 and pass turn. So if this was any monster deck, this would be literally an FTK up against Runic, so deactivate destruction to bait out our set card, we tribute it to get our Varus live. They're going to draw some cards, we're going to ash that. We're going to get our effects because this does trigger by any card going from the hand or deck to the graveyard, which is pretty cool. They pass turn. I feel pretty confident here. I'm saying hopefully they don't have a, I really hope they don't have a runic spell in hand. Clueless. Effect, dump, special summon back the curse effect, Naya's effect, add a Dawn effect, go from there, make the Echidna, put back the Naya, dump 1, effect. So from here I'm trying to work up damage to go for game. So we're going to normal summon, turn to attack, attempt to battle phase, and look, do you know they have a spell? So they're going to draw 3 cards, and guess what they draw? They draw a tip. Wow, that's crazy. So from here on out, we're trying to just play the game, but unfortunately, as all Runic players do, they drew everything that they needed in that specific scenario. It's almost as if Fountain wasn't the hit. Who knew? Effect of the no synchron to go into a Malong into the level 4. You can't use it effect. Put back 3, draw 3, draw another 2 great cards. So they thought if they took our alien monster, it would turn off the adding effects, but it doesn't. No monster at all with A counters can activate their effects, right? So yeah, get it back. They negate it because, you know, they drew the card that they needed for that specific situation, as all runic players do. They're just eating our board, and then they're playing the game, trying to add. Look at again, but you know, it is what it is. Normal summon, set singularity, effective dump to trigger Naya. You know, again, every card that they need in that specific scenario to go ahead and break your board, as every runic player does. Give them a lot of A counters. Effect tribute 3. Attempt to wipe the board. Enter battle. But what do you know? Again, the card that they need just to survive the turn to win the game. Who would have thought? So now, all we need them to do is just not draw a runic card. All we need them to do is not draw a runic card. And they draw the best runic card, and the game is over. So they activate tip effect to go ahead and get the flashing fire. Shuffle back, draw 3. Draw into everything that they needed again to deck us out. Because you know why? Every runic player draws just the card that they need in that specific scenario to out and win the game, because every runic player does. On to the next one. For the next match, we're up against Vernusylph Adamantipator, right? And our hand is pretty good, so we're going to go ahead and get off to the races. And also this replay shows you how resilient the deck has become. Even though the deck has no starter, you know, the deck has a lot of extenders to play through almost anything, right? So effect, dump the light. Effect, dump a dark. Effect, dump a reptile, special reptile. In this case it will be the Najasho. Tribute Najasho, chainlink 1, chainlink 2. Summon the Naya. Summon out the Rios, chainlink 1, chainlink 2. Add a copy of the Singularity. Add a copy of the Curse. I'll try the Dawn. Overlay taking the Feral Imps. Add a card. Effect of the Nunu Infect. Special summon it from hand. Make another Feral Imp. Add another card. From there we add a copy of Rios. Then from there going into the attempt to Nibiros. But it's fine. We didn't normal summon it, so we're going to normal summon a copy of the Forest. First effect, special summon a copy from the graveyard. Set a copy of the Evo effect to tribute, special summon a copy of the another one from the deck. And then from there, link off into Kidna, make that 0. Get a free add, why not? Add a copy of Nunu, tribute that, make a token, make 4 tokens, who cares? Nice nib there, boy. Nice nib there, Ed boy. So we're going to go ahead and make the Zulur set 1, set 2, pass. So we don't know what our opponent's on, so we attempt to hold the Singularity to see what they're on. If they're playing a trap deck, if they're playing a monster deck, we ash that because we don't want them trying to throw out 3 cards. Give them 1 only. So we realize we're playing against Vernusylphs. So from here we can go into the Dolka. Dolka is really strong against their deck. We wipe the board by tributing our item, Shock Trooper, Field Goal Boom. And then from there, the game is over. Negate. Special summon. Can't do anything. Game done. On to our final game, which will be a match. We're going to be going up against a meta deck, and our opponent is playing the, what is this, Vanquish Soul Kashtira. To be honest with you, I don't really know what they do. Outside a burger, drawing a card, this adding a card, blah blah blah. I don't really know what to do, so we're going to go ahead and begin to play the game. They start by sending Pantera, link off in link 1, normal summon Ryzen. We attempt to imperm that because we're not going to be playing with that. No. Set 1, pass. So we begin with activating the best card in the deck, which is Snake Rain. They attempt to add a card to their hand. That's fine. Dump our monsters. So here, I could have made the Evil Sword package, but once again, I'm not really sure what this deck does, so I didn't want to give them that just yet, so I decided to hold it back for maybe turn 3 or so to see how it goes, right? To see how it feels. Going on, activate Nunu's effect, tribute that, go ahead and activate that to get a copy of Naya. Naya effect is search a copy of the Lily, and then link off those into Echidna. So here, you can again see it comes up. They have a 0 monster. We can make this 0 to get a search of 2 reptiles, right? Pretty good. Activate the effect of the curse because they're going to bounce monsters from our field. And then they bounce 3 cards, that's fine. effect to put back 1 and then dump 1. They attempt to go ahead and press back forward fire, so now their monster cannot be destroyed by card effect. Or battle, I should say. From there we activate the effect Tribute 3. Special summon the big boy wipe the field. Get in for 3000 damage. Set 1, pass. We're going to keep our Lily for follow-up and keep our Evil Sword package for follow-up once again. I don't know what this deck does, so I was playing a bit cautious. They draw another Ryzen, they Kaiju a monster. Feels bad. Imperm that. Say no. Say no to violence, kids. They go ahead and add back 1. Special the Pantera. And then pass turn. That's literally nothing, so the game is now over. Draw a Najasha. Effect to dump 1 and then summon the Najasha. Trigger the effect of the curse and then the Najasha. Deactivate their effect to summon out the Ryzen. That's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and ash them before they can get into the what's it called? The Caesar. Special summon Naya. Special summon out the Rios. Naya effect. Rios effect. Set 1. Then add 1. And then overlay into King of the Feral Imps. Add a copy of Nunu. Tribute that to get some tokens into rotation. Effect Tribute 3. Wipe the board. And then just end the game from there. Trigger the effect. That's 5300. Game is over. On to next one. To game 2. We're going second. Our opponent opened up the pretty much a good hand. Our hand is not that good. I decided to tide in the rivalry going second because if I'm able to break their board, and also their board doesn't seem as proactive as it's as I think it would be, so I think we can just activate this in their next turn and then just get kicked out of the game. Let's begin. Stake your soul. They summon Dr. Madlove. Madlove effect, add a spell and shop. They add the Book of Moon. Burger effect to draw 1 card. They draw into a copy of Caesar, make the link 1, activate continue, summon back the Madlove, and then from there activate 7 stores, draw 2 cards, 2 good cards, and then they pass turn. So the Nunu fixed our hand. We can go ahead and get the Zoha into the graveyard to get this cursed curse out of our hand. Right, and then we're going to go ahead and activate the effect, get a copy of the Rios effect to go ahead and tribute itself. Normal summon effect, deactivate Caesar effect to go ahead and get itself in rotation. That's fine. Add the Singularity, overlay, make that. Now use effect to dump a light. They have the ash, that's perfectly fine. We didn't really care about the light going into the grave. We more cared about this being in the graveyard overall. So we do so, activate curse effect, summon itself and all Naya. Once again, they have 2 level 0 monsters on the field. Model of effect, search a spell and shop. We add a copy of the Lily from deck to hand. Love into Echidna, trying to make the 0. Apparently they have a counter trap that says when you target a monster they control, they can negate and destroy it. That's fine. We can just reborn it and do it anyway. So we dump 1, reborn 1, add 2 reptiles from the deck to our hand, activate the effect to summon itself, link off into the Shock Trooper. Shock Trooper's effect to give them 4 A counters. Now must beat into the Caesar and then get 4 monsters on board. Effect, go ahead and add a card and give them a card. That's fine. Then we activate the effect to wipe the board. Or attempt to wipe the board. Our opponent goes ahead and presses up, down, earth, so that their monster is unaffected by effects. Attempt to wipe the board. They have the Book of Moon. Interesting interaction here to say that when our monsters get booked, they no longer read from being summoned from the graveyard, so we're going to lose everything here except for the Caesar, right? And the Ash. So we set 1, pass turn, feeling pretty confident because their hand does not contend with the rivalry. So we're going to go ahead and continue. Activate the rivalry. They activate down, up, forward, earth again, unaffected, which is fine. Take 3000, no problem. And from here I'm feeling pretty confident to go ahead and take over the game. Beginning with the Nunu. Again, they activate up, down, earth, being unaffected. Discard 1, trigger the effect of Nefer effect. We're going to just go ahead and beat over this Caesar since we can't really get it out of the way. Activate King of the Feral Imps, get some follow-up going, and then go ahead. So from here, I know that they have the Pancratops in hand. So if they summon it and then attempt to out a revelry, that's fine. We can just go into a Dolka or whatever we need to win the game, right? Well, that's at least what I thought was going to happen. So for turn, they go ahead and they draw a copy of Mad Love, activate Stake Your Soul to summon out the copy of the Burger, and from here, which I wasn't aware of, apparently they can just press down, forward, dark on fire, and then just burn us for 1500. So yeah, on to game 3. For the most crucial game of them all, game 3, we're going first. We opened Snake Rain, so we won the game. So we open up Snake Rain, so we won the game. Activate Snake Rain, discard Naya, summon out the necessaries, Sword into Curse, Curse into Naya, Naya into Lily, and then you've seen this all before. We're going to go ahead, summon out the Nunu overlay into King of the Feral Imps, add a copy of a Reptile, normal summon that Reptile. That Reptile's effect to summon out the copy of the one in from the graveyard, activate the effect of Evo Force again, tribute special summon, Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, set Singularity. We're going to go ahead and overlay again into a Dolka. So here, instead of making the late, F0, I felt as if they, had Nibiru. Turns out it was DD Crow. So we're just going to go ahead and overlay for the Dolka, and then, play around hand traps a bit better. Activate the effect, and from there, our opponent realizes the writings on the wall, and they concede. So yeah, that was Snakes, and just like you, hopefully just like me, you can turn yourself into a snake, and from there we can play some Ogdoadic to get it right. If you have anything yet to talk about in the comment section, go ahead and do so. Catch you on the next one. Rogman out. Keep safe.